What's happening, fishing friends? Spring is sprung, and I'm happy because I've got another What's in the Box for you all. And this one's kind of sponsored by my work, I guess. I won a gift card through there, and I thought, man, I could buy groceries. Nah. New pair of shoes. Nah. Fishing stuff. Yep. Wanted to get some things that I've been looking at, and these should hopefully give me some options and help improve on some baits and techniques that I wanted to get better with this year. So let's get started. First, I've got some Robo Worms. I picked up a few packs of these based on responses that I got on Instagram. I'd asked that question a while back, and if you're not already following me on Instagram, I always link that information down below. So if you ever want to private message me, something like that, you've got a question, feel free to do so on there. I always check those. I like hearing from you all. I also do some kind of behind the scenes type stuff on Instagram, and people ask questions, and I appreciate the feedback. Just like this, I asked most people, what do you have success with when you're running a drop shot? What kind of soft plastic do you like the most? And I wasn't surprised that I got a bunch of votes for the Robo Worm. I know this is regarded as, kind of one of the best soft plastics for the old drop shot. So that's a good question for all of you watching now. What is your favorite soft plastic to put on a drop shot? Let me know. I need all the help I can get with this dang thing. But anyway, one thing that I really liked about the Robo Worm that stands out is that it has layered colors. Look at those beautiful layers. It's got like a green pumpkin, red flake up top, and then kind of a blue belly all the way down to the end. This is Ayler's Edge, Brent Ayler. And when you think about it, anything, out in nature, baitfish aren't just one solid color. They have lines, markings, kind of those iridescent flashes to them. So for a finesse approach where that fish is really getting a good look at the lure, I can't help but think this is going to make a difference. I know solid colors like green pumpkin, black, those are pretty hard to beat, but, in clearer water situations, I don't know, I think this might help. They've got a good profile and they're proven for some reason, so I picked up a couple. I got some Watermelon Magic, and I kind of screwed up on this. I thought this was going to be more of a green pumpkin with kind of a different look in the middle. I guess it was kind of hard to tell online, but you can see it's got the green there with like the green and gold flakes in it. Thought it was going to be different, but it's basically Ayler's Edge without the blue tail and bottom. I kind of dropped the ball. Again, that color was Watermelon Magic. Finally, for the real clear places that I fish, I got this. This is called Prism Shad, and I actually like this one the most. In the light and sun and real clear water, it's got like an iridescent blue kind of green up on the top of it. Goes into a purple, then a light blue on bottom. So I think this is going to be a clear water killer. Definitely looks like, that translucent-y, glassiest bait fish look. I don't even know what words I just said, but you know what I mean. Those clear see-through. Look at that. Definitely has good colors on it. I like that one. That one, again, is the Prism Shad. So some Robo Worms. Continuing with the old drop shots, next I have some of the Z-Man trick shots. I like the Z-Man stuff. This Elastec stuff is extremely durable. And I've heard people say they've caught, 20, 30, 50, some people have said 100 fish on these. I don't know really, but this is a color that a lot of people said the deal. I mean, that's kind of cool because a lot of people say it's the deal. Never mind. Anyway, it's a cool profile. It's got a flat back there, kind of ribs on the side of it, and it kind of tapers down into that V kind of bait fish shape when you look at it head on, and a tail and back that should flop up and down, really well when you're working that light drop shot type deal. So I'm excited to use those. Those look pretty cool. Definitely looks like a bait fish color, so I can see why that would do good and come pretty recommended by folks. Even has some little ridges there on the tail, so I'm excited to try these. Cool little bait fish looking imitation. And with this stuff, it floats. I wonder how much that helps the drop shot, because sometimes on the hook, when you stop it, it looks like it kind of falls down. I wonder how much it helps having something really buoyant like this keep it up straight. I don't know. This thing might even look cool on a Ned rig. I don't know if people have done that, but there you go. Again, that's the trick shot from Z-Man, the deal color. The next drop shot lure I got for ponds around me, this is the Beast Coast Miyagi. This is the Magic Flick, 3.5 inch. This is in the bass candy color. I'm thinking that looks pretty darn bluegillish to me. Had to give their drop shot baits a try. It's got a very good slender looking bait fish profile. I got that again to mimic, the places that I fish that have bluegill. Looks really cool. You could even, dip the tail in chartreuse, or the front of it in chartreuse. I've added eyes to some of these. I like the looks of it when you add eyes. And again, if it's a little clearer water, you're trying to mimic a bait fish. I personally don't think it hurts to add eyes to it. Can only help it look really. You can see it's kind of got like an iridescent tone when you move it back and forth. The tail has kind of a bulbous point up here and then a little rudder type deal under there. So it's going to give it a really good lifelike action when I get that in the water. I'm excited to try this one out. Again, this is one of those that you could try putting on a Ned rig too. I bet it would look pretty cool hopping that on the bottom. Even a jig head just, bouncing along the bottom. Look pretty cool, I think. Again, a big fan of their stuff. Beast Coast. Of course, you've seen the Miyagi a bunch on my channel. Love that. Oh, drop shot or wacky. Oh yeah, that would look pretty cool wacky rigged. Again, the 3.5 inch Magic Flick. Next was another bait that has come highly recommended, and I haven't had any sort of experience with them at all, but this is the KVD Dream Shot. Hopefully using these lures will help me harness some of KVD's power I need all the help I can get with this drop shot deal. This is the Sexy Shad color. I got this from my local lake. Sexy Shad seems to really tear it up at my local lake here. You can see it's got kind of that blue iridescent up top. A bunch of salt you can see on there. It's got the chartreuse in the middle and then kind of that white baitfish belly. So I like the coloration on it. You know, it reminds me of a lot of baitfish that we have around here. It's got that longer, slender profile. It kind of tapers off in the middle and then the tail gets kind of bulbous there on the end. So I'd assume that's going to have a real good action when you kind of shimmy that on the drop shot. Pretty cool looking bait. I like this one. Again, that is the KVD Dream Shot and Sexy Shad. Excited to get this out there and testing it in the water. Hopefully I'll use this and become as good as KVD with the drop shot. Don't count on it. Now, speaking of that small baitfish profile, I don't know what in the heck I was thinking getting these. Apparently I didn't pay any attention to the size of them, because talk about small. This is the missile baits, and this probably looks familiar. I love the missile bait D-bombs, but this is the missile bait drop craw and green pumpkin. And this thing is tiny. I don't know, maybe this will be more of like a smallie lure. I don't even know. I don't know what's going to hit this. It's not even as big as my middle finger. Little tiny, skinny 3-inch bait. Let me know. If anybody's used any of these, please let me know, because I don't know what to think about them. Maybe this is something I bring out when the bite's really, really tough. Something this small and, you know, harmless, might be easy to eat. I don't know. Looking at this, though, I think this might go pretty cool on those little Z-Man jigs that I have as a trailer. Hello, Z-Man jigs. Where are you? Figured I might as well grab one to show you all if they'll come out of here. Yeah, what do you think of that? That might look kind of cool on there. Let's not think. Let's throw this baby on and see what it looks like. There we go. Finally got it on there, and that's what it looks like. I just bit a little bit off the front of it, and it looks like I probably bit just a little bit too much off. I'd like to have that hanging off a little bit more, but it actually looks pretty cool as a little finesse jig trailer. As a drop shot lure, I don't know. If anybody has any experience with it, let me know. It's very small, very finessey. Not sure what to think about it. Again, that's the Missile Baits drop craw. Next, I grabbed a couple shallow water jerk baits. I've got a lot of the medium diving, but I don't have really any shallow ones for the ponds around me. So I grabbed a couple of the Yo-Zuri, the 3D. I like to have those when it's, you know, a little bit windier, the water's choppy, and it's sunny out. That gold color does good in a little bit dirtier water. You know, if I've only got maybe 3 foot of visibility. Can still work a jerk bait, but I think that gold stands out. And then, of course, I got the shad color from my local lake. It always does well. So these guys are not very big, 2 3/4 inch, 1/4 ounce, and they don't dive very deep either. So excited to try those. I've never used the Yo-Zuri jerk baits, but they look pretty cool. I also picked up a couple of the Rapala shadow wraps. I've used these before and like them, but at one point in time I lost it. Don't know what happened. And I thought this was going to be a little bit more see-through, kind of see-through, but not. I don't know. Got 2 different colors here. I thought this was going to be a little bit more translucent white color, but I like to have, again, you know, kind of that reflective color when it's windy and sunnier out. Then when it's clear water, maybe just a little bit lower cloud cover, I like to have something that's, you know, real translucent and see-through, that real clear water. So got a couple options there. I like those. These are, again, are not very deep diving, 2 to 4 feet. Put that on heavier fluorocarbonates and keep it higher in the water column. These are almost half an ounce, so should be no trouble casting those. Also 3 hooks, so you should have a little bit better hookup ratio. You can see that one. I used it, but I put it back in the box. You can also see that these do have the 3 different hooks on them. A little bit better hookup ratio when you have 3 hooks. So again, the Rapala shadow wraps. Next is the Man's 1-. Man, Man's used to be one of my absolute favorite brands of all time. They're spinner baits. Hank used to use them. Mr. Hank Parker. Loved watching that guy when I was growing up. He loved Man stuff. You know, he was sponsored by him, so he was always showing all the cool things. Loved their jelly worms. Loved their auger tail worms. Loved the Man stuff. So I saw this, it was on sale. I decided to grab a little bit bigger profile. You know, if you're looking for some bigger bait fish, a little bit bigger profile, you know, like the little KVD 1.5s. This is more like a 2.5. This is actually a 3-inch bait. Pretty big. So see if we can get a few bigger bites on this. I'm excited. Oh yeah, and the color, just in case you wondered, that's the chrome black. How about this guy? This was one of the craziest things I saw. I've never seen anything like this. This is from Lucky Craft. Love Lucky Craft lures. This is the Sammy Bug 100. It's a floating topwater lure, 4 inches long. I saw it and I thought, man, this looks like the old school jitterbugs that I used to use, but this thing's all buffed up on steroids. So you can see on the front there, it's got that big bill. If you've never used a jitterbug, it's kind of got that side-to-side rocking, almost crawling motion to it with that bill. You can see the bill here. There's a little space between the actual lure and the bill. Let me just take it out. You can see there the bill rocks back and forth, so it's going to kind of climb through the water, going back and forth. It's also jointed in the middle, so it's also going to have that kind of wagging tail type action. And if all that wasn't enough, it's also got a prop on the back. I don't know what to think of this thing. It was super crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Now maybe the company, Old Lucky Craft, just sold me on the lure and it won't actually catch any fish, but I thought it looked pretty darn cool, unusual. I've never seen anything like this. Let me know if you all have. Now, I always used to throw the jitterbug at night on ponds. You know, when we go out to farm ponds and hang out with my buddies, we'd always throw the jitterbugs at night, the black jitterbug, and that was so much fun. So this really reminded me of that, but, you know, beefed up. And I also thought this would be pretty killer for pike too. It's got a whole lot going on with it. They're just angry missiles in the water. If you've never done topwater pike fishing, it is crazy fun. They're mean, they blow up on stuff, they come clear out of the water. I love it. I know some people say pikes stink and they're just gators and they hate catching them, but I think they're a ton of fun. So I think this thing will probably upset a few pike. Again, that's the old Lucky Craft Sammy Bug 100 topwater. All right, the last hard bait in the box is something that I am really new to. You might have seen a picture of this on Instagram. This is the Jerkbaits Sneaky Pete. In case you're wondering and can't tell, the color on this one is rainbow trout. You know, I hear a lot of people say, oh, you know, it's the cool thing to do is buy big swim baits. You know, you're trying to fit in with the cool crowd, you know, throw big swim baits and all this and that. Well, honestly, for me, the whole bigger fish profile thing, I mean, this is a big lure. You look at this compared to the S-Waver, it's even bigger than the S-Waver, and this is the 168 size. That's 6 3/4 inches. So it's bigger than that. I think this is 7.5 inches, if I remember right. Yeah, right there. 2.5 ounces, 7.5 inches. The ability to target the larger, you know, bigger fish in the pond or lake, you know, whatever it is, that really does intrigue me. I am by no means a trophy fisherman. I'm not only throwing these, you know, and dedicating myself to swim baits, trying to get, you know, 10, 15 pound bass. I love to catch all sizes. You know, as you've seen on my channel, I'll catch little bass, big bass, whatever. It's all fun to me. But honestly, the theory behind this and using this, you know, as a search bait to draw those bigger fish out or target specifically those bigger fish has intrigued me. So I've got a few of these, the S-Wavers, the Sneaky Pete. I'm not going crazy expensive on all these. You know, I'm trying to use affordable options. These are like, you know, 15 bucks. And don't get me wrong, that's still a lot of, you know, for some people to spend on one lure, but I want to kind of try some of these and give my opinion and tell people, you know, do I think they really work? Do they don't? So I've tried to keep it on, you know, the more affordable end and spectrum of the swim bait market, I guess you'd say. Hooks on here are extremely sharp. These are called katana hooks, and they are very, very, very sticky. Now, the thing that I like about this, it's supposed to have a real good wide action. It's got a rubber tail on here too, so I would only think that that's going to help add to that. And the hangers, what's really cool about this bait is you can see these swivel. You know, they go around. A lot of fish, you know, once they get hooked, they'll use that bait as leverage to pop those hooks out. This is just going to spin, so it doesn't matter what that fish is doing, my line's doing, this can just keep spinning around. So that's supposed to help keep the fish pinned on there better. I think it's pretty cool. I would only imagine it's going to help out, you know, with a bait this size, 2.5 ounces, it slaps that to the side, can very easily pull that out of its mouth. So pretty cool little design here. I'm excited to try it in rainbow trout. Hopefully I've got some trout eaters here in Iowa. Again, that's the Jerkbaits Sneaky Pete. Only got a couple things left, nothing too crazy about this. This is the Berkley X5. Had a ton of people ask me if I've tried it. I have not. I had this, this size was on sale at Walmart, the 8-pound, only in the X5, not the X9. I would have rather had that for spinning, but picked this up to give it a try. I think it was like $8, so figure why not? Try it on a spinning reel, see what I think. As far as the other swim baits that I have in here, these are the Kitech Easy Shiners. Now, I usually throw like the Swing Impact or the Fat Impact, whatever they are, you know, with the little ribs on them. I've never tried this version, the Easy Shiner version. Let me pull one out of here. You can see here it's smooth. This is like those old school little, you know, baits that I used to throw back in the day. Looking like a little shad there. I like this. I got it to mimic bluegill, you know, or some other sort of bait fish. Kind of translucent with the green on top. I like the color. We'll see how these do. They're supposed to have a different action. I have never tried them. Thought it might even go cool on that A-rig that I got. So we shall see. Again, the Kitech Easy Shiner, and that's the Silver Flash Minnow color. The last soft baits that I have in here are the Gary Yamamoto Zaccos. Got these on sale as well. I got some black with blue flake right there. And then, of course, the green pumpkin. Tons of people have asked me if I have tried these on the back of a chatterbait. I have not, so I figured, you know what? I need to get a couple packs and try them out, see what I think. If they are good, I'll certainly let you know. They are a little bit, you know, again, on the pricier side. I think this was $3 something for a 6-pack, so 50, 60 cents each. Not the cheapest out there, but if they work, you know, I'm willing to give it a try. If you can find them on sale and stock up, nothing wrong with that. You can see it's got the segmented body there. Kind of like those Lake Fork that I used to use, or now the Grande bass that I use. Kind of that same concept. I wonder if this is going to swim a little bit more. The tail has kind of a flap on it there. So we'll see. Heard a lot of good things about it. The 4-inch Zacco from Gary Yamamoto. Last in the box are just some hooks and terminal tackle. I picked up a few of those. That's all in the box. Picked up those for the old A-rig. These are some of the 6 cents. 6 cents. It's kind of hard to say. I've never tried this kind with the screw deal on it there by the head. So I thought that would do really well for the A-rig. Give these a try. The little 1/4 ounce, I can only run 2 hooks, so I thought that would be a good size. I also like how the nose angles up, you know, so if I'm bumping that A-rig over stuff, hopefully that'll help keep it from getting snagged. We'll see. I grabbed some of the Hayabusa hooks. These are the 7/0. This is a little 3-pack of these. They've got the screw in the front there. I got these for those really big 7-inch stick baits that I got to use as a follow-up to some of my swim baits or whatever else, frogs, whatever I want to try. But picked up some of these. I've heard a lot of good things about the Hayabusa stuff. I've used some of the belly weighted on the Miyagi's and had really good luck. So these were on sale as well. Grabbed some of these. They're very, very sharp there. They're supposed to be all the rage over in Japan. Everybody loves them. So I figured I would give these bigger ones a try and see what I think. And again, for the old A-rig, I did get some little bit larger split rings. Those are the number 4. These are very strong. You can see they're up to 50 pounds. I like their stuff. Owner, I've used their split rings for a long time, like their stuff. And I got some of the centering pins. I've never actually used these, but I had multiple people tell me to lose the clips and don't worry about dummy type stuff on there. Just run the split ring to this centering pin and put my dummy baits on that. So the ones that can't have hooks. Remember, I can only have 2 hooks on my A-rig here in Iowa. So I'm going to try those. So just some terminal stuff. So there you have it. That's everything in the box. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you have tried any of this stuff out, if you've liked it, if you haven't liked it. I always appreciate hearing from all of you. I always read all the comments. And like I said, follow me on Instagram over there. You can shoot me a direct message. That's the best way if you got a specific question about something, or leave it in the comments below. I don't care. I appreciate hearing from all of you. I like getting the feedback. Let me know. Now, what am I most excited to throw out of here? It's this thing. This thing looks gnarly. Now, maybe this was just a lure to catch fishermen and not fish. I've fallen for that a couple times, but some things I have bought thinking this thing looks silly, and it's done really well. So we'll see how this thing does. I'm hoping I'm going to get some big blowups on pike and maybe a large bass. But comment below and let me know what you like the most out of the box, what you're most excited to see. If there's any sort of challenges or anything you want to see with any of this stuff, let me know as well. But of course, it is getting late. I got to get to bed. Those hooks are sharp. Hooks dressed. So you know what? Until next time.